Okay, so actually, Lisa, this is something that you and I know a whole lot about, but most other people don't know what goes into being a radio host.
Oh, we could do a whole show on our time together as radio host. You know, it's much more than just showing up and talking. It takes planning and, of course, good chemistry with your co-host. Well, in today's Day in the Life, Sean Streicher stopped by the Froggy 99.9 studio to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like being on the radio.
Froggy 99.9 with Whiskey and Randy.
Well, we want to hear your worst hotel experiences on the Whiskey and Randy poll on our Facebook page.
With two of the more recognizable voices on Delmarva, Froggy 99.9 morning show hosts Whiskey and Randy have been helping people get through their morning since 2011.
It's the longest proposal ever, 365 days.
But it'll make you cry.
But their careers in radio didn't start in this sought-after time slot.
It's interesting. Actually, a campus radio station guy picking on our freshman dorm was where it all started. We duct taped him to the flagpole. And it's funny, actually, we're good friends now, and he wanted to bring me back in the next day to kind of explain why we did that.
Oddly enough, Whiskey also owes his start in radio to a prank he would pull while working at a soccer shop.
So I basically just would call up a guy and that was on the radio, and I'd crank call him and do different voices, and me and a couple guys at work would just joke around. And I noticed he kept playing my calls, and so I called him up and just asked if he liked the voices, and he said, yeah, come on in and get a job.
What started out as a once-a-week gig turned into a full-time job. Whiskey would go on to work a variety of formats in different time slots. One of those moves actually opened the door for Randy. After several years of working for the same radio group, Whiskey and Randy were teamed up to host a sports show in 2010. The very next year, they were moved to the morning show on Froggy 99.9.
Well, Whiskey and I have a good relationship and an understanding as far as the friendship and working relationship goes, because I'm kind of the planner. He's more the show and go guy, where he can just go off the cuff, and I can to a certain extent, but I like to be prepared and to like to know kind of what's ahead. So my morning consists of probably waking up a little earlier than Whiskey, getting here a little earlier than Whiskey.
That's not the case. He gets here around 4 in the morning. I get here usually about 2. I start prepping, and then I'll go home and take a shower, and then I'll come back. So that's why he says that.
Whatever time he actually does show up, Whiskey is in control of the soundboard.
I really want to make sure that if something messes up, it's me. Because he would mess up a lot, and it would really bother me.
The real truth, Sean, is actually he couldn't pay attention without being on the board. He was like drifting off.
I fell asleep twice on him.
And as I'm sure you can tell by now, these two are really good friends. So what you hear on the radio is what you get in real life.
But you're not a watch guy.
But I'm not a watch guy
because
have
girly wrists.
I do. Not unless they have a watch, an Apple Watch for women. I will not be able to purchase
Whiskey
it.
has the thinnest wrists I've ever seen, man or woman.
Yeah, they're like when I wear watches, they go up to my elbows.
My daughter's 6 now. She's probably got thicker wrists than you. Just saying.
It's important for us to be real on the show and real away from the show. You want somebody that you know, and I think that's important for us. I want whoever listens to us to know who we are, to know we have kids.
You hear that cheesy voice? Real life. Yeah.
That entertaining banter can be heard on radios from Dover to Onancock. It can even be heard in South Jersey, which is where I first heard Whiskey and Randy. So needless to say, I was excited when they asked me to fill in on the show.
When you get to fill in for one of us, what's the best part of it? I guess the difference between that and TV.
You know, it actually helps me with TV. It's just talking, because you just have to talk and not stop. So
wait, I thought he was going to say best thing was me. I know that was what he was going to say.
What I'm saying is, on TV, I mean, sometimes we just look at you and that's enough.
Yeah, that's true.
Your eye candy.
It doesn't matter what I say.
Exactly.
But here it actually
Substance matters on radio. That's why Whiskey and I are hideous.
Even if it's at their own expense, Whiskey and Randy strive to entertain their listeners while working in a profession they love.
I love making people laugh and being able to inform people, and it's fun to know that people are listening and know that you can maybe brighten up somebody's day.
I just think the opportunity to meet people and experience things, concerts, meeting people who listen to the show, getting new friends and relationship, being out in the community. I mean, there's so much that we're able to do that we try not to take for granted.
Love them. Besides hosting the morning show, Whiskey and Randy also make public appearances and host remote broadcasts from around Delmarva. So do you miss it?
They are really neat guys. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Sort of do. You?
No. I'll
Okay.
stay right here.
Now don't you go anywhere. Delmarva Life will be back in just 2 short minutes.